My name is Erisbelia Garriga, and everybody calls me Eris. This is my first book that I wrote out of 4, home-style Puerto Rican cooking. It was my first one in terms of giving out recipes from my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, and friends that told me, you need to put this recipe there. And you know, I gathered all of them together, plus the ones that I knew from my grandmother. I put them together and put another book. My mother was a very good cook, and my grandmother too. Her sisters, my grandmother's sisters, they also were very good cooks, and they all loved the kitchen. So whenever they got together, they were saying, okay, let's do this, let's do that, and everybody was cooking something different. And it was almost every day or every weekend they had something going on. So my grandmother used to say to me, okay, could you make some coffee, or could you make the sofrito? It wasn't the sofrito as such, but at least she was saying to me, just get the garlic, get the onions, and cut them, and do this and do that. And that's the way I learned how to make the sofrito with them. But that's why I learned how to cook, because of the love for food that they have in our house. Okay. The recipes that are here are more traditional recipes, like arroz con pollo, arroz con gandules, asopado de pollo, and there are some of the recipes that I use meat, and I also seafood and all that. But they are traditional in terms of what I'm used. Now I was just trying to change some of the recipes a little bit, just cutting the salt, cutting salt, oil, and anything that had to be with fat and all that. I was trying to get out of the way. But the taste was the same. I remember my mother's cooking and my grandma's cooking, just that they used lard when they were cooking. So I'm using more extra virgin oil. As a matter of fact, you know that the people that buy the book is more like the old-timers who want to give the books to their grandkids or their nieces or nephews, because they are asking mama or mommy or nana, how did you make this or how you make that? And when they saw the book, they said to me, a lot of them, they said to me, I want to get the book because my niece or my grandkid, they need that book. And that's why they're buying it. Which for me, this one is a book, it's a bestseller, because I have sold 5,000 copies of this book. The vegetarian book is because I became a vegetarian in 2014. I became a vegetarian due to medical reasons. So the doctor said you have to change your diet because of what was going on with me. So I have tried to do the same food that we have in Puerto Rico. Not with the meat, but I use soya meat. And I use a lot of vegetables, a lot of viandas, the good vegetables. And the taste is almost the same. It's just that you see the difference because I don't use a lot of salt. I don't use a lot of seasoning. I prepare my own adobo, my own sofrito, without a lot of stuff that we add to that. And a lot of people that have been using, they said they like that because it's almost the flavor that we have with the food that we usually eat, with meat and all that. I haven't changed a lot of that stuff. It's just that I'm not using the meat. I'm not using the ham that I used to prepare the beans with ham. I don't do that anymore. But it tastes good. I mean, the other day I have visitors from Chicago that they came to Comité Noviembre for the fair, and I prepared some white beans, and they said, "Oh, these beans are so good. They're to die for." And I said, "I didn't use anything that you use regularly with the regular beans," and they came out really good. The next project that I'm working on is the food that identify our towns in Puerto Rico. There are a lot of festivals there, and usually they center in one ingredient. Like sometimes it's panapen, the breadfruit, or it's the mango, or it's the orange, or there are 2 towns in Puerto Rico, which is Humacao. They have something called granos, and the town is known by Granos de Humacao. So I'm trying to get Macabeos from Trujillo Alto. So I'm trying to talk to the different city halls there to get someone to talk to me about how do they have the festivals and what do they do with the food and all that. So that they have Salinas with Mojito Isleño. They have La Chuletas Cancan from Guayanilla. Someone said also from Yauco. So each town has a different food that they consider that's typical from their town. And that's what I want now to put together and see if we can have a nice book. Because a lot of people here, sometimes you ask them, what's the typical food of your town? And they don't know. Like I didn't know, I had to speak to the historian of Aguadilla to find out what was the typical food of Aguadilla. They told me it was arroz con pescado. So I didn't know that the historian told me that's what we use here because we live in the coast and that we have a lot of fish there. So that's what we use for our main food over here. Yes, I'm getting the recipes from the town also, not mine, from the town.
Cool.
So I hope it's a nice project, especially like I began to say, some kids when they go to school, the teacher says, could you bring something typical from your town? And sometimes they keep asking, but what is the typical food of my town? I don't know. So this is why I said this is something that's motivating me to do it. Bilingual, in English and Spanish. Sabrosuras Boricuas was the first one in Spanish that I wrote. And then De la Tierra con Sabor, which is the vegetarian one. And then the other two are in English. This one, Homestyle Puerto Rican Cooking, and Eris Green Kitchen. It took me 3 years to finish the vegetarian one, so I expect, since I would have to be traveling to Puerto Rico a lot to meet these people, to take photos of their food and all that, I would say that we take more or less the same time. The Eris Green Kitchen and this one, both of them, they have more than 400 photos in color of the food. So, and this, what happens was, there was a criticism in Puerto Rico that we have a lot of books, cookbooks, but they didn't have any pictures, any photos of the food. So people, let's say someone that doesn't know about Puerto Rican food would like to know how it comes out, and they didn't have any books to show how was that food or whatever. So in this case, I said to myself, well, you know what? I want to do it with photos, and that's why these books now have a lot of photos. And I went to Puerto Rico to get the ingredients, for some of them, and I made them over there because they were there. So I said I had to do this. And then sometimes when I don't get them, I have friends who send that to me by mail, and they, I get a lot of stuff from Puerto Rico. I have a website, which is it's a long name, www.homestylpuertoricanCooking.weebly.com. That's my website, so the 4 books are there. But also here in the Museo del Barrio, they sell the books. Kitchen Arts and Letters Bookstore, which is only, they sell only cookbooks. They have all the books there and they sell very well there. Now La Marqueta, 115th Street and Park Avenue, they do have the books now. That's in New York only. So in Puerto Rico, there are a few bookstores that have the books, like El Morro, el Fuerte San Cristobal, and El Yunque. There is another store, Puerto Rican Arts and Crafts, in Fortaleza Street, and La Librería La Tertulia in El Viejo San Juan, Norberto Gonzalez Bookstore. They all sell the books. So I would say that as long as we have people that cook our Puerto Rican food, it will never go away. So everybody would be able to eat our food. We just need more restaurants and more people that are willing to cook from scratch. And these books will give you from scratch almost all the recipes.